It's time for some football, baby. Already forgot to hit the mic button. Got it in just in time. Week 1 main slate going to be absolutely wild this weekend. Tonight, we dive into the main slate. We talk through this live. How do we handle the wildness? How do we handle the chaos that is week 1? We're going to build out a structure. We're going to build out less player takes, more go all in on teams, make sure we have the right bringbacks, really dive into the structures tonight. And we'll talk contest selection because contest selection will absolutely be important for you all. We do that all right now on the Rumbles of Red right after this. Tell them to bring me my money. Welcome in to the Rumbles of Red. As I stumble through the cold open, it is the first week, so got to give me a little credit. Got to give me a little grace, right, the first time through. Appreciate you all being here. We are powered by Bite Size Sports. Bite Size Sports is the YouTube network that I work for. We do a lot of stuff. We'll talk a little bit about that as we go, but definitely appreciate you all being here and supporting us. Let's go, baby. Noob Rockney in the chat early on. Nate saying, go Bears. We will definitely talk about the Bears a little bit today. So thank you all for being here. You know, through this show, I really go through and talk about each and every week, every Friday, 8:15, just talk about the main slate for DFS. I'm a FanDuel guy. There's a lot of DraftKings guys out there. So if you love DraftKings, if you play DraftKings, I still think we'll talk through some players that will still help you on DraftKings. But really, I do a lot of FanDuel. That's where I play. 95% of my stuff is on FanDuel, so that's what I talk about. And that's what I enjoy playing. So sometimes you might throw out a player across throughout the year, and maybe I think he's too expensive, or maybe he's too highly rostered for my liking. So those things will happen, absolutely. But just know it is a FanDuel style of DFS for me, anyways. And we'll talk through we'll talk through positions, we'll talk through contest selections tonight, and we'll try to win some money. You know, last year was my very first year that I went all in on tournaments. I played zero cash last year. It was a lot of fun, but I definitely took my lumps, man. Can't act like I didn't. Took my lumps. My bankroll took my lumps a little bit, took its lumps a little bit, but there were still some fun games, right? Sunday night, Monday night games, man, I was killing it. Those single game games, I have really stepped up my game on those. Had some fun. I always play the same 100-person contest as a 3-entry max on FanDuel. Did not get anything last night, but I always play those, and I took it down a couple times last year, 125 to up top. I just played the $5 one, but they do have a $5, $10, $25 one. So those are always fun. I've done really well in single games over the last couple of years. I had 1 week last week, man. I remember first place was $1,000, and I was sitting in first for a while, and something I don't remember the exact game. I remember standing at my TV just staring at it like, oh baby, it's gonna happen. Ends up not happening. I think I ended up with $600 that week instead of taking it down with the 1,000. But tournaments only is a lot of fun. It really is. It definitely takes a hit on the bankroll. You're not playing for the 50-50 double ups. You're not playing for the cash. You're playing for first place. And that, to me, was a lot of fun. And that really, I feel like, opens it up a little bit. If you want to make good money playing daily fantasy, I think that's the way to go. The couple of years before that, I played a lot of cash over for 8 years or something, which is fine. You play 50-50s. You get to the point that you like it. Nothing wrong with playing cash. Your bankroll kind of just stays even, but it is hard to really hit the big one, which is why I turned over to tournament only last year. And to some people's, not like despise, they don't give a shit. It's not their money. but they doubted that a little bit, right? And that's okay. I love playing my tournaments, and I'm ready for that. And I'm going all in this year again, playing tournaments only. So everything we talk about will be tournament style play. You'll hear a little bit about cash, but most of that is just like, hey, this week's cash quarterback, it sounds like it's going to be Sam Howell. Therefore, we don't want to play him in the tournaments, right? Because he's going to be so highly owned. We want to play the contrarian play. We want to find the leverage, right? If everyone's going to play Kenneth Walker this week, do we want to play Geno Smith? Feels gross. But those are kind of things I think through when I start building out my tournament lineups throughout the way. So we'll definitely get into that. We'll get into some contests. Smash the TJ Hawkinson yards over is what John says here. And I'm going to pull up actually that kind of, it's a good little transition to a little bit of a underdog still, right? So with underdog, obviously it's a lot of it is best ball stuff. You still have time to get in there. They have over-unders as well. So let me see if I can. Let's find the TJ Hawkinson over-under on underdog. Let's see what they have to say about it. Get myself switched around here. All right. So on underdog, you can still go up here, still get into underdog, still use my promo code Trevor Steinbacher. The nice thing is we'll look at my drafts a little bit. They do have weekly drafts. I'm not going to do one this week, but I am thinking about integrating these into my shows a little bit. The Royales are the best. The first Royale this week already filled, but if you can get in a battle Royale, you get in here, you draft against 5 other people, and it's a lot of fun. So I am thinking about potentially doing a little bit of battle Royale drafting in on Rumbles of Red as we move forward. But again, I'm going to do that today. I have not done any research for best ball this week. But you can also go over here to Pick'ems. And this is why you should still think about getting into underdog, right? Even if you don't want to play best ball, they have these Pick'ems that pay out quite a bit. You got the standard, make 2 picks, make 3 times your money, whatever. Well, who are we going to look up? Hawkinson. Let's look at what Hawkinson's at. So Hawkinson's at 45.5 receiving yards. John says smash the TJ Hawkinson over. Said he thought he saw it at 47.5. So now underdog's got it at 45.5. Right. So we choose the over there. Oops, didn't want me to do that. Oh, come on. What are we doing here, underdog? I got the over sitting in there. What's another good one? Probably a guy that I like quite a bit this week. Aaron Jones. What's he sitting at? Passing wise. No receiving. Okay, so 0.5 rushing and receiving yards or touchdowns. I don't mind that. Say he goes over, he scores a touchdown this week. You sit there, $5 brings you back, right? $5 pays you $15, triples your money. So definitely think about getting on underdog still. It's not a best ball only site, although that's what I obviously use it most for. But use my promo code Trevor Steinbacher if you are so inclined to jump on underdog there and have some fun this NFL season. How are we doing in the chat? Did you guys play last night? Did you guys play any DFS last night? We're not going to get into the actual game, obviously, as you can tell as a Chiefs fan. I've got plenty of thoughts around it, but I'm not really going to get into that. I just want to kind of hear about your DFS plays because mine did not do well. I played 4 lineups. All 4 lineups were this game is going to shoot out or they're going ham, and I just kind of sprinkled it in. Essentially, what you really needed on FanDuel is you needed Mahomes in the MVP. You needed ASB. You needed David Montgomery. And then you needed to play the Rashee Rice and the Justin Watsons of the world. Like, you needed to play those cheap guys. I played a lot of Noah Gray cheap, but I didn't play. I almost played Rice, didn't end up playing him. But in a game that only 4 touchdowns are scored and only 3 offensive touchdowns are scored, in those single game slates, you definitely just have to get all of the touchdown scores in order to take it down. Unfortunately, I was not able to do that last night, but I want to hear from you. If you're in the chat tonight, did you play the single game slate last night, and how did it go? And maybe you didn't even play. Maybe you didn't play last night quite yet. Maybe you wanted to wait, enjoy the game, especially if you're a Chiefs fan. I don't care. I played either way. The one thing I didn't do last night that I usually do for every game, I didn't play any 4-round ones for the underdog, which would have been the Lions. That probably was a little bit of because I like the Chiefs and it just didn't sit well. But I do love doing that with those single game slates of just taking the underdog and playing 4 guys from the Lions, 1 guy from the Chiefs, and seeing how it goes. Obviously, that wasn't the play last night to win it either. But again, I'm a contrarian type player. I want to do some things that are different than the rest of the league. Lee says he lost all of them. So him and I are in the exact same boat with that. But we're about to walk through the main slate, get that money back for week 1. Before we get into it, if you haven't already, you're here with us. If you're listening on the audio afterwards, maybe you're watching afterwards, whatever the case may be, if you will, please hit that subscribe button there on the Bite Size Sports YouTube page. We can see that if you're watching, about 58% of you are actually not subscribed to the Bite Size Sports Network here on YouTube. And we just hope that you'll consider subscribing with us. We are headed to 750 subscribers by the end of the football season. We're on here multiple nights a week. Tuesday through Friday, you can come to Bite Size Sports and there's a live show happening every Tuesday through Friday. And then there's more. We have plenty of bonus episodes, Necessary Roughness on Tuesday nights, ADP, Another Damn Fantasy Show, which is one of my podcasts. We do season-long fantasy on that. That's on Wednesday nights. Kev and James are on Thursday nights with The Bounce. So if you're an NBA guy, go hit up The Bounce. And then I'm here every Friday night talking DFS. So again, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel with us. Jones Jr. Costa. See, I had played a lot of Josh Reynolds last night, actually. Which worked out like it was a good play. It just wasn't good enough. My ASB, the ASB captain play was a good play. Again, just wasn't good enough. It's so hard because when I play a wide receiver in captain, I always play the quarterback. I'm never going to not do that. Well, ultimately, you didn't really need Jared Goff last night. He didn't really do a whole lot. It was just ASB was catching them all. You probably could have really taken it down with like an ASB in the captain spot with the Mahomes, a David Montgomery, and a Rashee Rice, and then whoever would have filled in from there probably would have been fine. But I do think that Mahomes actually, in just pure points, outscored ASB. So he was the guy you needed in that captain spot with ASB as the bringback. And that's just not something I did. And you could have avoided Jared Goff in that situation. Definitely would have left a lot of money on the table. It's just not somewhere I went last night. So we're just getting our feet wet, right? We are just getting our feet wet. Let's talk about contest selection real quick before we get into this week's main slate. I think contest selection is so very important. Get here. Bring all this over. When you're going through, I always play single entry for main slates. It's single entry all the time. There's not very many good three max entry contests for the main slate. So I go single entry and single entry only on FanDuel. So obviously you just go here, full roster. We're going main slate, right? That's the 12 p.m. and the 3 p.m. games. I'll bring that sucker down here. Maybe $10. And I just click single entry only, right? And for me, I want to go low entries, but good payouts still. And so I always, sorting by the size. I didn't mean to do that. Sorting by the size, you got the one. Actually, let's get out of this. Let's go to $10 only. If we're just going to do a $10 game. So if I'm looking at this, for me, I'm not really sure why it's, there we go. It wasn't widening out like I wanted to. For me, if I'm going out of these two single entries, this one's got 5,882 participants. Great. Obviously, you enter that, you take it down, you're winning $5,000. It has obviously the bigger payout, which is great. But I always try to go for these little bit smaller ones. 352. If I beat out 351 other lineups, I'm taking home $400 out of a $10 entry fee. To me, the smaller contest for the amount of lineups that I am playing, which is not very many, and I would assume that if you're watching the Rumbles of Red, one, you probably, maybe you like me and I appreciate it, but maybe you just want to, a little bit of a player take or a little bit of a different look on things, but you're probably not playing thousands of dollars of DFS. And so we're, I would say we're probably on the same level. And if you're on that level, don't throw your money into 10,000 person contests or the Millie Maker. Like the Millie Maker is awesome, right? You could win $1 million if you beat out 400,000 people. It just doesn't make sense to me, which is why I play these smaller single entry contests, because I would much rather give myself a chance to take home $400 every single week, a real legitimate chance. I believe I can beat out 351 lineups. I believe I can actually do. I don't believe I can beat out 400,000 lineups. Quite frankly, I don't think I can beat out 5,881 lineups. Like I don't have the tools to build out all these different ways to build a lineup. I'm hand building everything. I just don't want to play in those. So you really have to be smart with your contest selection when you're going through this. I'll usually play $5, $10, and $25 contests. So right now, if I look at just the $25 contest only, there is a 4,700 one, and it is a little bit higher than I like, but because that's all they really have for $25, if I go this route, I will play this one. Again, I don't love it. It pays out 25%. The top 1,200 positions are paid out. So if you make the top quarter of them, top 25%, you will get paid out. But generally, I would rather go in that 200 to 400 range. 94 is okay, but it's a little bit low. You got to get really weird and try to get that. What are they paying out? $400 to the top. So you could do that. I don't mind those. That's what I kind of play in on single games is $100 or 100-person contest. So you could jump in the 94-person contest. But just think about the contest that you're getting yourself into. If you're in the chat with me, what kind of contests are you usually playing? Are you playing single entry, 3 max, 5 max? Are you playing the Millie Maker? What kind of contests are you playing in? Because it would be good to kind of know, like, who am I talking to, right? Are you guys all throwing your stuff into the Millie Maker? Because if you are, we got to get really, really weird, right? We got to really find the contrarian plays. If I'm playing this 94-person lineup, I could probably play the cash quarterback of the week if I get different elsewhere, right? I can't just play all cash. I'm not going to put my cash lineup into a tournament play, but I don't have to be as different. I usually end up just overplaying a particular team, right? So if I want to play this 94-person contest, maybe I just what's a pop? Maybe I overplay Sam Howell. Sam Howell's going to be the cash quarterback, but I'm going to play McLaurin and Dotson with him this week, right? Maybe I just overplay a game. Maybe, the Miami Chargers game this week. I'm going to go ahead and put Tua, Enrique, and, maybe I go Smythe at tight end. I could put Mostert in there, and I bring back Allen and Eckler or what. Like, you can just go all in on some of these teams or these games and really give yourself like, hey, there's 11 games on the slate. This one's going to this one's going to score the most points. I'm going all in on this game. Now my really small contest, I have to get one thing right. The one thing I have to get right is that is the game that blows up that week, and I'm winning money. So that's why I go these smaller single entry contests. Let's see what's on the $5 front. Anything good? I haven't looked at all these yet. Today's going to be interesting because I haven't really done a whole lot of research with all this. 400. These small spikes are where I live. These are where I live. I think I have 250 to the top. Yeah. These $5 470 person small spikes is where I. This is the area I like to see. I will be in all three of these by the end of the night because it's truly where I live. All right, you guys ready to jump into some talk? Let's get into some player talks. We'll start with quarterbacks, of course, as we always do. Who's your favorite quarterback of the week? Remember, we're talking Sunday main slate. Sunday main slate. Who's your quarterback for the week? We got Hurts at 9,000, Lamar at 8,900. Justin Fields 8,300. Wow, so. Let me just preference this again. I haven't done a whole lot of looking at the FanDuel pricing yet. This will be a little bit of a different type of show than we normally do because normally I'm well averse of what all is going on, but with best ball finishing up, the Chiefs playing on Thursday night, we've got our first football game tomorrow for my kid. Like I haven't truly had time to just sit down and be like, all right, let's dive into this slate. So we are truly diving into this slate together right now. We are doing this together. And this, to me, I absolutely love Justin Fields this week. But 8,300 kind of feels a little bit high to start with here. Herbert 81, Trevor Lawrence at 8,000. Doesn't even use his legs very often. Joe Burrow at 7,900 with a groin issue. Probably somebody I'm definitely avoiding this week. Tua, somebody I like. That game is a game environment that I really love. We talked a lot about it on Wednesday with our Start Sit segment with Dan on Another Day in Fantasy podcast. This is just a really good environment here for the Miami and Chargers, and it's in LA in the Dome. It's going to be a good environment. Minnesota at Tampa Bay, Kirk Cousins 7,500, Deshaun Watson at 7,400, Russ 73, Geno Smith. I talked about him earlier. Kind of kind of the cash play. One of the cash. Not one of the cash plays. Opposite of one of the cash plays, which is Kenneth Walker. The cash quarterback of the week is Sam Howell against that Arizona defense, 7,100. And you got some other guys down here. Anthony Richardson, somebody that's on my radar a little bit there. So who do you guys like at quarterback this week? I've got a couple thoughts here I'll go through, but I want to hear what you got to say. Justin Fields with Moore, with DJ Moore there. I like that. There's actually a bring back that I'm going to talk about at when we talk wide receivers that I like a whole lot right now as Green Bay deals with a little bit of injury. But yeah, Fields with DJ Moore. Fields is always the guy that you could, in cash, you just put him in and you play him naked and you just hope he runs the ball a lot. But when we're playing in tournaments, we can't really play these quarterbacks naked. And when I say naked, for anybody who's new to the Rumbles of Red this year, Naked means you are playing them without a wide receiver, right? So you're not stacking the wide receivers with them. You're just flat playing the quarterback. Not something I do in tournaments. So yeah, I would take Justin Fields and DJ Moore, maybe double stacking with like a Cole Kmet, or even throwing a Khalil Herbert in there if you think that this Chicago offense just runs on the Green Bay defense. Is my boy playing tackle? No, third grade. We are still in flag, at least for this year. I'm kind of I don't mind fourth grade tackle, but really fifth or sixth grade is my preference. But if he gets to a point next year and he's like, hey, I want to play tackle, I'll definitely allow him to play tackle. But Oliver's kind of a skinny boy, so he might not be ready for tackle weight next year. Derek Carr. See, I can't, and I might be missing this, but is this Tennessee defense good or bad? Like, truly. Because they were kind of good last year, but kind of bad 2 years ago. So that worries me a little bit with Carr this week. I love Olave. I said that I was going to fade Jamal Williams because I do think if they run the ball or if they make any movement against the Tennessee defense, it will be through the air. And so Derek Carr will have his opportunities. Derek Carr pretty cheap at $7K. So let's go ahead and build our first lineup. The first quarterback I see in the chat, we will build a lineup around them. So what quarterback do you want me to build my first lineup around? I'm going to mix it up a little bit this year. Let's build some lineups within the show. Let's not just wait till the very end to build, 2 or 3, 4 lineups. Let's build it as we go. So we just talked quarterbacks a little bit. Let's pick a quarterback. Let's build around a quarterback that you throw in the chat. And I'll talk through some structure stuff from there, right? Because like I said, this week, I feel like it's more about structure than it is player takes. You might think, Lamar Jackson is going to be the best scoring quarterback on the slate. That's great. How do you build with him? Are you building with Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews? Right? Are you gonna have a bring back? Is Houston gonna push them at all? I really don't think so. Although I think Lamar could be the best play on the slate, I'm not sure. Are you going to be able to get a bunch of guys to go with him, right? Or is he going to spread the ball out? Maybe Zay Flowers gets a touchdown, Andrews gets a touchdown, J.K. Dobbins runs a couple in, like Lamar runs one in himself. Great game, but you don't really know who to bring with him. So what kind of condensed offenses can we find here? Like the Fields to Justin or to DJ Moore, those kind of things. So if you're with me, let me know what I'm going to let you kind of throw it. All right. I just see Lee says Hurts with Brown. Whew. Wow. You're going to make me really start off good, huh? Jalen Hurts with AJ Brown. Now, this is why I actually love this, because I'm a contrarian player. I want to play guys that are not going to be played much in the tournaments this week, right? So I want to find these guys. AJ Brown doesn't get clicked a lot because he is pretty expensive. They're playing New England, and you've got Keenan Allen, Jalen Waddle right here in a high scoring game, really high totals. Didn't mean to do that. Really high totals. It's easier to click these guys right now than it is AJ Brown, which makes AJ Brown a beautiful contrarian tournament play. So let's build this out. Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown. We have to have a bring back, because who's going to be pushing these guys? My favorite bring back here would be Stevenson here. Stevenson was out sick. He looks like he's going to play. I'm not worried about him missing practice yesterday. So start out with Ramondre, Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown. We've got an average of 5,900 left. I'll go ahead and throw my defense in here. Get a cheap defense. It's not going to be played much. Let's leverage this. Leverage this. If we're going to go Hurts with AJ Brown, let's leverage the Chargers-Dolphins game. Right? because that's going to be the game everybody's going to play. So we're not going to play that game. We're going to go with the gross Philly New England game. So let's leverage this game by playing the defense. I would take the Chargers defense probably over the Dolphins. I don't know. It's kind of a throw a dart type of situation, right? Kind of a throw a dart type of situation. Let's see. We're working here with 6,500 now. We could double stack Ertz with Dallas Goedert. It's not I don't hate it. Might as well. If Hurts is going to be the best play, might as well get a few touchdown passes out of the guy. He does run so much that you definitely don't have to play a Dallas Goedert. So I'm going to actually go super cheap here. Play a guy I was going to talk about a little later on. We'll talk about him now, though. Luke Musgraves, $4,500 against that Chicago team. Somebody mentioned DJ Moore in the chat earlier. We'll just kind of play a nice little mini stack with DJ Moore and Luke Musgraves. You want me to play him with Quez Watkins? No, I'm not going that crazy. We can't go that crazy now. We're sitting at 7,200 now, so we got plenty to work with here. Let's go back to the running backs. We haven't really talked about them quite yet, but let's see. Ken Walker's going to be pretty high owned. He was going to be absolute chalk before he missed practice yesterday, so maybe him missing practice will help bring his rostership down just a little bit there. And then let's get more of these big time players in. Let's go to Devontae Adams. Put him in the flex. Pretty expensive, easy to flex off of at 8,200. It gives us plenty of opportunity to move off of him later on if we need to, although I don't think he'll be very highly rostered. Just wanted to get a stud in there. And then if we come down, we could look at, Cortland Sutton on the other side of Devontae Adams. No Jerry Jeudy this weekend. See how that game, maybe that's a little fun game. So I don't mind that at all. Again, we're looking for structure. We're looking for guys who are going to push each other. We're going to look for teams that could score a lot of points. Denver and Las Vegas definitely don't play defense. It's just a matter of can their offenses support each other. So we're going to build around Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown. We bring back Ramondre. We got a chalky Kenneth Walker, which we're fine with because we got a contrarian start with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. So we can live with the chalk there. Running back, we have a mini stack of DJ Moore, Luke Musgraves. We got Cortland Sutton, Devontae Adams, a late mini stack there that we could go to. I definitely just realized the entire lineup is a late game, so I don't love that. We can't do that. We can't do that. I just realized that. I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is because I'll just put AJ Brown here. You see nothing. Like, you have no way to know, should I be changing these guys or what? You need to have some type of 1 p.m. game. So let's see. Who plays at 1 p.m.? What's a good game that you could throw a little mini stack in? Jacksonville, Indy? Could you go Michael Pittman? Gives us 8,000. Michael Pittman, Calvin Ridley. Michael Pittman, Calvin Ridley. And that gives us, I mean, if we wanted to, we could go up to the Seahawks, right? No Cooper Kupp. You got Kenneth Walker, a little Kenneth Walker, Seattle defense, secondary stack. So you could do something like that. I actually don't mind that at all. But you need to get somebody at the 12 p.m. game. So anyways, that's kind of how you could stack around Jalen Hurts and company. Let's talk running backs. Who's your favorite running back on the slate this week? Christian McCaffrey, 9,200. Can't even get a first, First week discount on McCaffrey or Eckler. Nick Chubb, 8,600. Derrick Henry, the big dog. I am never going to play Derrick Henry in tournaments. 8,500. He is looking to be pretty highly owned, so just be aware of that when you're playing tournaments. Josh Jacobs, 8,400. And then the guy I think will be the highest owned player running back this week, Bijan Robinson, 7,800. A couple other guys I like. I like Aaron Jones with the injury issues there in Green Bay. I think that he's going to be highly involved if this Packers team is going to beat the Bears. It's definitely going to have to go through Aaron Jones. Let's see what Lee's got to say here. What do you think of Bijan Robinson, Javonte Williams from Denver, Olave Hurst, Seahawks defense? Javonte here. Where's Javonte at? What's he cost? 6,500. I don't mind that. But I think Samaje Perine is going to be highly involved in this Denver offense. Not season long, but this week I think Samaje Perine. Because you got to remember, Javonte is coming off an ACL tear. Like, I don't think he's going to go out here and have, 80% snap share by any means. In fact, I could see it leaning more towards Perine, where Perine has more snaps. I really think that, because the Broncos, if they're being smart, they can't just throw this guy in and go all out. So I'm probably not going to play a lot of Javonte Williams in tournaments this week. But I don't mind Samaje Perine. Where's Perine listed at? I must have missed him somewhere. Here he is. 6,000. Yeah, if I was going to go a running back in Denver, I'm playing Perine at 6,000. I just don't like I don't trust the Williams stuff, right? Not in the first week. Not with my real money. Bijan, though, I mean, you're not going to go wrong with Bijan. Bijan will probably be the highest owned running back. So if you do go Bijan, you just got to get different around him. You just don't play a whole bunch of chalk. Don't go Bijan and Sam Howell and who's going to be the chalk wide receiver this week? Whoever that's going to be. You just can't play a lot of chalk around him, but you can definitely play Bijan. All right, I like Aaron Jones. Kenneth Walker is going to be another chalky type of running back this week. Wow, J.K. Dobbins only at 6,500. I like J.K. at that range. Brian Robinson, probably going to be a little chalky. Who's the gross guy? Oh, Raheem Mostert is definitely going to be. Raheem Mostert, I mean, I'm going to play him. I'll play Mostert at 5,900. Against the Chargers defense, one of the worst run defenses in the league last year. I'll play Mostert for sure. 5,900. Love that price. I love that price. The Colts running backs, no thank you. Not touching them this week. The hell with that, man. I'll let somebody else deal with that. There's not really anyone super, super gross. There's no like free squares or anything like that this week with running backs. So who's your favorite running back? Let me know in the chat. I want to see your favorite running back. Who should we build the team around? Give me one, give me two. Multiple running backs come through. We'll just build a team around all of them. My favorite running back to click right now for this week is definitely going to be Ramondre. Because you see this little thing right here, this little illness, people are going to stay away from him. The guy's going to be healthy. He missed practice today, but it was just because he was sick. He's not actually injured. He's supposed to play in the game. I love me some Ramondre. I know Philly's defense is going to be good, but strictly because I don't think anybody will play him, I like him. The other guy that I talked about a little bit on Another Damn Fantasy podcast this week is Cam Akers. Just high risk, high reward. No Cooper Kupp. I could see Cam Akers getting 25 to 30 20 touches this week. 25 to 30 touches. Now, what does he do with them? That's going to be another question. But high risk, high reward. Don't mind him at 6,600 here. So who do you want to see me play here? Let's build a lineup around a couple running backs. Let me know what running back do you want me to build around? Who's your favorite running back? Antonio Gibson, easy matchup against the Cardinals this week. Khalil Herbert. So Dante Foreman is way too expensive. He's an absolute no for me. Absolute no. Not doing that at all. No, thank you. Lee says, will anyone play Dalvin Cook? I would say, I assume he'll probably be in like the 10% range, so not necessarily super chalky. Where is Dalvin? Where's he? Oh. Dalvin Cook, they're not on the main slate. No, they're playing on Monday night. So, yeah, you can play Dalvin on Monday night. For sure. For sure you can play Dalvin. All right, I'm going to build around Bijan because he was like one of the first running backs that were mentioned today. Again, super, super chalky. Don't really love a lot of the bringbacks on the other side, but Carolina does have a few injuries. So I'm going to go ahead and what I do here. I'm going to say, hey, look, they're going to push him a little bit. Adam Thielen's hurt. Somebody else was out, right, for them? Maybe not. For some reason I thought there was a second guy out, but I'll go ahead and throw in Jonathan Mingo. He had some good camp buzz, super, super cheap. Again, if I'm going to play Bijan, I want somebody on the other side. The other way you could go is you could go Bijan and Atlanta's defense at 4,500. Why not, right? Doesn't really bother you at all against a rookie quarterback and Bryce Young. You might as well take the Atlanta defense with Bijan Robinson. Now you've got your early game, so you're not really that worried about the rest of it. Let's go cheap at running back. I'm going to go Mostert, which is one of my favorite running backs this week. I'm a little worried he's going to get steamed up by Sunday. Right now it doesn't look too bad, but if he gets up over 25, 30%, it's going to bother me quite a bit. Hopefully he kind of stays a little bit under the radar. I know I'm not going to be moving any percentages with rostership, so hopefully he does. I'm going to put Mike Williams on the other side of that one. We got a little mini stack with Raheem Mostert and Mike Williams. Let's go back to what quarterback, running wide receiver do we want to? Let's play Carr Olave. Let's play Carr with Olave. Again, I'm so much less worried about player takes right now because week 1 is going to be off the chain. Like, it's going to be weird. It's going to be odd. I mean, we just saw the Chiefs play last night, and 10 different receivers caught the ball. Nobody had more than like 4 targets. You just don't 100% know how the first week is going to go. And so let's embrace that a little bit. Let's embrace it with the New Orleans Saints, right? I do want to have a bring back here. Burks is cheaper, so I'll go that route. Hopkins isn't terrible. You could also go Chig here. What I think I'm going to do is at tight end, I really want to correlate. So let's go Juwan Johnson at tight end. That could allow us to bring back DeAndre Hopkins. Fucking gross. 7,800. Man, not a lot of 7,800 going on for the afternoon slate. We need somebody in the afternoon. We'll just go DK for now. So what we can do, we all know this, right? We've got Mostert, Mike Williams, mini stack, and then DK Metcalf all going in the afternoon. I actually like my defense going in the afternoon as well, but we got a nice secondary stack with secondary correlation here with Bijan Atlanta defense. But all I'm looking for right here in the flex spot is Who can I throw in here? And it's the highest amount. Now I can flex off of them. So if I need to go and flex off of DK Metcalf later on, there's plenty of options, right? I know I can go to Devontae Smith's not going to be owned at all this week. Literally like 2%. Nobody's going to play Devontae Smith. So if this team really just goes and kind of goes bad, I can blow up the Raheem Mostert, Mike Williams thing, or I could easily just say, you know what? I'm not going to play DK Metcalf. I'm going to play Devontae Smith because nobody's going to play him. Just got to find some correlation. Got to find a little bit of leverage there. So that's not a bad team. I like that team. Carr, Chris Olave, Juwan Johnson with the DeAndre Hopkins bring back. You got a little Raheem Mostert, Mike Williams mini stack, a Bijan Robinson Atlanta defense secondary stack, and then you got DK Metcalf a little one-off in your flex. So let's talk my most appreciated position, the wide receiver position. First and foremost, just if you're new to DFS or you're new to the Rumbles of Red, first, welcome in. Thanks. Hit the like button if you haven't already, right? But you're going to see me put wide receivers in the flex more often than not. Now, unlike DraftKings, which is a full point PPR, FanDuel is a half point PPR, and touchdowns really do matter in FanDuel. If you're going to get to the top of the tournament, and a guy like A.J. Brown last year, when he goes off for 3 touchdowns, or Mike Evans in week 17 when he goes off for all those touchdowns, you have to have those guys if you want first place. If you don't have the guy that goes off for the 2 to 3 touchdowns in FanDuel, you're not winning. And that's probably true in DraftKings as well. But with FanDuel, really, the touchdowns matter a little bit more than they do on DraftKings just because you're not getting that full point PPR. So we do want to look for those guys who are going to be highly involved in touchdown making. Okay. My $5 team on FanDuel: Carr, Aaron Jones, J.K. Dobbins, Chris Olave, DJ Moore, Justin Jefferson, Evan Ingram, Calvin Ridley. Let me pick from this a little bit, okay? Derek Carr is going to be the best quarterback play. That's what you're saying, right? In your lineup, you're playing Derek Carr. He's going to be the best quarterback play. How does that happen? What happens in that game for Derek Carr, Chris Olave to be the best stack you can make? Well, to me, that means this game is starting to see some points, right? Both teams are kind of pushing each other. Because if it's just, hey, look, Derek Carr threw a touchdown pass to Chris Olave early in the game and nothing else happens, you're not getting there. And if it's just Chris Olave and Derek Carr just hitting each other all day long, scoring a couple of touchdowns, the game starts to spread out a little bit. Are they really going to continue to pass? Or are they going to give, Jamal Williams a little bit extra run and those kind of things? So, yes, I'm not against the Chris Olave, Derek Carr thing. And actually, the more that you put it in the chat, the more I talk about it, the more I like it. But you have to have a bring back. If you're going to play in tournaments, you got to bring it back. Who is going to be scoring for the Tennessee Titans to push the New Orleans Saints to continue to score? That's the way we have to look at this. Because if the Saints score 31 points, if the Titans, are giving up 31 points, that probably means the Titans are scoring a lot too. Because otherwise the Saints are just going to shut it down and cruise, right? So you got to think about, okay, if this is the game, this is the team that I want to stack, I need to bring somebody back on the other side. The same thing goes, honestly, with all of this. There's not a lot of, There's not a lot of correlation here. If you want Justin Jefferson one-off, that makes sense. I'm good with that. Whatever. He's the best receiver in the game. right? You got Aaron Jones, DJ Moore. That's a great little stack. Dobbins as a one-off, not that big of a deal. But what is this Evan Ingram and Calvin Ridley? Why both of those? If you're going to play both of those guys, why don't you play Trevor Lawrence with them? Because now you're saying two guys from Jacksonville are going to be needed, but just one guy from New Orleans with that quarterback. So those are things that you don't obviously have to change it. Just things that I think about, things that I'm working through. If I want Derek Carr, I want to double stack Derek Carr. The quarterbacks I don't feel like I have to double stack, the Lamar Jacksons, Justin Fields, these running style quarterbacks, you can get away with a single stack. But Derek Carr doesn't run. And if Derek Carr is going to be the quarterback you need this week, he's going to be hitting multiple guys. Throw Jawan Johnson on there. Throw Michael Thomas on there. Throw Jamal Williams on there. Hell, maybe he catches a few passes this week. But I'm definitely double stacking a guy like Derek Carr if I have him on my roster. All right, let's talk about those running backs. I just mentioned Justin Jefferson. Obviously, the $9,500. He's $700 more than everybody else. He won't be played very often. Tough matchup against the Bucks, but at home in a dome, very, very pretty spot here for Justin Jefferson. Remember, no more Adam Thielen. Got a rookie on the other side, which I love, Jordan Addison, but not this week. He's not going to, I don't believe he's going to be coming out and breaking out in week one. So, definitely love Justin Jefferson. This is what I like the most, though. Tyreek Hill is my favorite wide receiver this week. Tyreek Hill is my favorite wide receiver this week because I love this atmosphere. I love this game. I think it's going to be the highest scoring game. Vegas says it's going to be the highest scoring game. It's in LA, going to be in the dome. This is the game that I've really been targeting the most, just because what is it, like a 52.5 point over under? Absolutely. Who's your favorite wide receiver? If Tyreek Hill's mine, who's yours? We built around AJ Brown earlier. Devontae Adams was in I don't mind him. I just don't know how, the quarterback situation is going to play out there. Jamar Chase against Cleveland doesn't feel great, which maybe that's a double stack, right? Maybe you go Burrow, Chase, Higgins, and just punt everywhere else because nobody's going to play that double stack. Not against Cleveland. Keenan Allen's going to be pretty highly owned. Another guy I like. Jalen Waddle might be forgotten. But why, right? DK Metcalf, 7,700. DeAndre Hopkins, 7,500. T. Higgins, 74. Aforementioned Chris Olave, 7,300. Calvin Ridley. What about Calvin Ridley? Are people going to play Calvin Ridley in week one? He's a best ball. Everybody loved him in best ball. Everybody wants to draft him in best ball. Are they going to play him in DFS in week one? Waddle is cheaper. I mean, you could come out and play the Trevor Lawrence double stack with Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, and bring Michael Pittman back? Maybe that's a game you don't need to bring back. But then again, why would Jacksonville continue to push, right? The Colts defense is going to be bad. I could see Jacksonville putting up a lot of points. Hollywood's got a hamstring injury, but a guy that I wouldn't even have touched anyways. Mike Evans, I'm a little weary about Mike Evans this week. Got the contract talks going on. The trade talks now already starting to loom there in Tampa Bay. The guy's a perfect FanDuel play. He is the perfect FanDuel play because, again, like I said earlier, FanDuel relies on the touchdown so much. He's that guy. He's the guy that scores the touchdowns in Tampa Bay. but not this week. Don't want to touch the Pittsburgh offense. Hell no, not against that San Francisco defense. No, thank you. We talked about DJ Moore a little bit. Drake London interests me quite a bit because Bijan's going to be the chalk, right? Everybody's going to play Bijan. Nobody's going to play Drake London. Maybe that's the route you go. Don't necessarily love this game or love this atmosphere. It's going to be in a dome, but I don't think the Atlanta offense is going to be super crisp, and Carolina's not going to push the ball too much. So probably a game I'm trying to avoid overall, but I don't mind Drake London as a kind of a leverage play off of the Bijan Robinson chalk. Jahan Dotson, I absolutely loved about 24 hours ago. Now McLaurin's going to play. He is healthy. It looks like he will be playing. Doesn't mean I don't like Dotson. And maybe I should play Dotson because of it, because now his rostership's going to go down quite a bit. But did like Jahan Dotson, especially if McLaurin would have been out. Let's see. Who else is in here? Not touching DPJ, not touching Juju. Don't want any of these Houston guys. Is there a Baltimore running back or wide receiver that you'd play? Zay Jones, Odell, Bateman. Bateman's the most expensive, so I probably would avoid him, honestly. Which Baltimore run? If I said you're playing a Baltimore wide receiver, you have to play a Baltimore wide receiver. If you're gonna play DFS this week, it has to have a Baltimore wide receiver in it. Which one would you play? OBJ at 5,700. Zay Flowers at 5,500. What about Rashad Bateman, 6,100? I think I don't know. I feel like most people would probably try to play Odell, but I don't trust Beckham. Do you guys trust OBJ? Do you guys trust OBJ? He's healthy. He'll be out there. Ultimately, I'll probably just avoid the Baltimore situation altogether. Jordan Addison, I'm not quite ready for. Van Jefferson. Oh, baby. No Cooper Kupp. Do you like Van Jefferson? Play a parlay, including Tony. Justin Herbert, dude, this guy, like last night, he's like, oh, baby. Oh, yeah, I can't wait until either Trevor or Dan or Trevor and Dan are on the YouTube again, baby. I'm looking at your team this week, Herbert. What wide receiver should I play from the Chargers? Allen, Johnston, Mike Williams. Who's going to be the guy this week for LA? Because I love that game. I haven't decided if I want to play Herbert or Tua. Like, truly, that is the stack. That is the game I want. Like, if I'm coming out of here and I'm saying, hey, I'm going stacking up this game, double stacking with the bring back. I don't know. Do I want to go Tua, Tyreek, Durham, Smythe with like a Mike Williams bring back, or a Herbert, Keenan Allen, Gerald Everett with a Waddle bring back? Like, that's kind of what I'm working through right now. That's kind of what Herbert, I'm asking you legitimate questions and you are just trolling. I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. I'm in Tennessee. Millie rocking. I don't even know what that means. All right, he says start Mike, Dub, and Everett. So you're saying like go like a Justin Herbert. So I'm going to start you, and you're going to throw the ball to Mike Williams and Gerald Everett. And then I'm going to bring that back. If I'm going Mike Williams, Gerald Everett, I'm bringing that back with Tyreek. Let's build that lineup right. Let's do that right now. How about it? We're talking wide receivers. Let's build a Mike Williams one. By the way, I love Van Jefferson, guys. No No Cooper Cup. I feel like a lot of people are going to go like Puka because he's at 4,000. Feels like a free like square if you really want to get crazy. But no, I like Van Jefferson. So let's keep Van Jefferson in there. Let's go Mike Williams. Let's go Gerald Everett at tight end. You like Everett, huh? We love Everett on ADP. And we're going to go Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's in the chat tonight. Justin Herbert's hanging out with us. And so we're gonna show a lineup with him in it. Don't forget Kadarius. Fucking Kadarius. Herbert, you are pushing it, man. This I want to rant about Kadarius Toney so bad, man. It is like in my freaking blood. It's in my heart. It's a 4-yard crossing route. My freaking flag football players run a fucking drag route all the time and catch the ball. 4-yard drag route. All you got to do is catch the ball. Knock it down. Just knock it down. I don't even care. You let it go right through your hands? You're a fucking professional football player. How does that even happen? Right through your hands for a pick six? Let's not talk about the next one. It's third down. It's just let me just let it hit me in the hands again there, Patty Mahomes. Sorry. How are you so bad? I thought you were bad because you were injured all the time. You're just a bad football player. The Giants fans are freaking laughing at you. You're so bad, man. 20 fucking points from this offense. 4 targets was like the most earned targets from anyone. Come on, guys. Brett Veach, get a freaking wide receiver, man. Somebody not named Kadarius Toney. Right through his hands. I mean, he's a great punt returner. We saw that in the Super Bowl last year. Let him be a punt returner. Let him go be a punt returner. Stop making him run routes because he can't catch anything. Hopefully he tweaked his hamstring or his big toe or something so we don't see him on the field anymore. All right, I'm going to go back to building this lineup because I was going to avoid talking about the Chiefs from last night and avoid talking about Kadarius Toney dropping three of your 6 targets or 4 targets, whatever it even was. All right, so if I'm going back to the main slate Sunday, Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Gerald Everett. I'm bringing this back with Tyreek. He used to catch the ball. R.I.P. to Tyreek and the Chiefs. Bring it back, Tyreek. It's leaving me 6,200. I don't mind that. I'm going to go and throw a defense in here. Let's go Chicago. How expensive is Chicago? 4K. I don't mind it. I can live with 4K. Against Jordan Love, first game out. You can't blame him. So now we're going to look at, I kind of want to play Herbert in that game. I've thought about it. Why don't we just go with the Herbert brothers, right? Go with Justin and his cousin Khalil. Gives us 7,400. A lot of afternoon stuff. So let's find let's move Tyreek to the flex. And let's find ourselves a nice morning $7,500 mini stack. Let's see. Can we get Jefferson and White? What's Rashad White? 6,400. That's not going to give us enough for Jefferson, is it? Damn. That would be nice. What if we did that? What if we got rid of Chicago? Could we go down from Chicago? Who else is out here like, oh, it gives us 3,000? No, not punting with Houston. Not this week. Okay, so we're not going to go there. I thought that would be kind of a cool little play. Herbert and Jefferson, I like that little mini stack a little bit. But it's not going to work out in this build. So let's see another morning build. We could just also just not stack them. We could just go to two one-offs in the morning, which is not terrible. Not terrible. Let's see. Talked about Bijan. What about ETN? Is anybody gonna play ETN tomorrow against this Colts team? I mean, the Colts team's not gonna be good, right? Colts team's not gonna be good. All right, let's go to wide receiver here. Go Debo. I don't mind Debo. We go Terry McLaurin. Nobody's gonna play Terry. Scary Terry. Let's do that. All right, so that leaves us 300. So we're gonna go one-offs in the morning. First game, don't mind it. Travis Etienne and Scary Terry. And then we're going to stack it up in the afternoon with the Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Gerald Everett. Go with the Dub Everett stack. Bring that back with Tyreek. You got a little Van Jefferson in there, which I kind of forgot about. We did not stack him up, but whatever. I love Van Jefferson this week. And then a little secondary stack with Herbert and the Chicago Bears. Oh, Justin says, ask John about me. I'm the troll of the century. I'm talking shit like we ever won a championship, but horrible show of professionalism by him. Yeah, I know. It's all good. I know you're trolling, and I'm fine with that. I just didn't want to talk about Kadarius Toney, and here we are talking about Kadarius Toney. What do you say? Have to get you going. The NFL wouldn't be the NFL without some talking shit. Yeah. Yeah, dude, Mike Williams, man. I like Mike Williams a lot. He hasn't stayed healthy enough for me to really buy into him. But I love the way he plays. That which is why he's always injured, right? He always goes and gets the shit. Like big body, just gonna jump out of the gym. Doesn't really care about how hard he falls, which is awesome to watch. But yeah, that's definitely why he's injured all the time. All right, let's talk tight ends real quick. Mark Andrews has been dealing with some leg injuries there. George Kittle with a groin injury. If he's out, I really like Debo. Just mentioned him just a minute ago. Hawkinson is fully healthy, fully paid, plenty of money. Not necessarily going his way this week. I actually am probably going to be avoiding any of these top guys this week. If you want to go the mega stack with Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson, they've got a pretty easy team, obviously, as they play the Houston Texans. So you could go that route. I just think that Baltimore is probably going to run the ball with like 4 different running backs because it's the Houston Texans and they suck. So why would they pass the ball 5 times? 5 touchdowns, whatever. So Kyle Pitts won't be played much this week. If you like him there in Carolina or Atlanta, you could maybe do like a Miles Sanders, Kyle Pitts mini stack. What's your favorite tight end this week? You could go that route. I don't mind it. If you aren't here, by the way, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I know Justin got me a little fired up about the Chiefs and Kadarius Toney. It's been eating at me, like seriously eating at me. I've been wanting to say it, but I was like, no, I'm not going to talk about it. This is a DFS show. We're a forward thinking. We're looking at Sunday's main slate, but he got me going there. Taysom Hill at 6K. Don't have any interest of him. I really don't have any interest in Evan Ingram either. Pat Freiermuth, not this week, not against the 49ers. We just talked about Gerald Everett. I don't mind him in double stacks with if you're going to play Justin Herbert. Tyler Higbee, as Justin says here in the chat. Another guy just said, I love Van Jefferson. I absolutely love Tyler Higbee as well. I do think Tyler Higbee will be played quite a bit. Just $5,300 on FanDuel is a pretty cheap price for tight ends here. He should be the benefactor of all the targets. Last year, one time Matt Stafford played without Cooper Kupp, and Tyler Higbee raked. He was the benefactor. He was the guy that Stafford looked to over and over and over again. So definitely like Tyler Higbee this week against that Seattle defense. It's pretty porous. I want to see it from Greg Dulcich. He was actually on my sits column for Another Damn Fantasy podcast earlier this week. So not necessarily running to see a Greg Dulcich this week. Cole Kmet, if you're going to play Justin Fields and maybe you want to get off of DJ Moore, because I think DJ Moore, would probably be the more chalky play with a guy like Justin Fields, you could go Cole Kmet. Don't mind that. Not necessarily interested in Chig. Definitely not interested in Dalton Schultz. I am interested in Juwan Johnson a little bit if you want to play that New Orleans game. And then I'm just going to scroll down. I'm not playing Sam Howell this week because I think he's going to be chalky. But you could play Sam Howell. If you do play Sam Howell, Logan Thomas could be fine. Justin says Michael Mayer here in the chat against that Denver team. If I'm going this cheap, though, for me, I'm going Luke Musgraves. I'm going Luke Musgraves, Durham Smythe. Like these two guys this week. I'm going to play that Chargers-Miami game. I've already talked about it quite a bit. Durham Smythe's not going to be played a whole heck of a lot. Could be a really good way to get different inside of that game stack. And then Luke Musgraves. No Christian Watson this week, which reminds me, I forgot to talk about Jaden Reed as well. So Jaden Reed for the Green Bay Packers. I like him a lot this week. Who's Jordan Love going to throw it to? Romeo Doubs also has a hamstring injury. He might not play this week either. So you're going to have to dig deep in Green Bay. I like Luke Musgraves. I like Jaden Reed there. Whether they're bringbacks, I wouldn't double stack them with Love, but if you want to, you do you, You do you. Yeah, I like this a lot. Just try to get a little different inside that Miami, Los Angeles stack. And then obviously Musgraves I like because of the injury factor there in Green Bay. All right, let's build another lineup. Any team, any game, we built a game. We built an Eagles stack. We built a Bears stack. We didn't build the Bears stack. That was wrong. What was the second game we built? We built the Miami Los Angeles Chargers stack already. Any game, any player, you throw it in the chat. We're gonna build around it here. I want to see what you guys think. What stack do you want me to start with? Any stack, your favorite stacks. My favorite stacks, I keep harping on, is going to be LA and Miami. But what's your favorite stack going to be? Is it Geno, DK Metcalf? Bring back a Cam Akers or a Van Jefferson or a Tyler Higbee. Do you like the Washington stacks this week? I like them. I like them quite a bit. I think they're going to be successful. I just don't like how popular they're going to be. Because I don't like to play the popular plays. All right, Cincy versus the Browns. Let's build out this game a little bit. I think this game could go under the radar. It's a, divisional game, week 1, could be knockdown, drag out. But sometimes those are the best ones to hit. I don't play enough Joe Burrow double stacks, just quite frankly, it just doesn't happen. And that kind of bites me in the ass on occasions. I'm not going to play the premium with Chase and Higgins. I'm going to play big Irv Smith through this. Make sure I get myself a little bit of tight end action. Again, I really want to correlate my tight ends this week. Not a lot of guys I'm just like, fuck it, throw this guy in there. I want to correlate them as much as possible. So who are we going to bring back on the other side? Probably not Nick Chubb. It's a little expensive. I think I want to bring back Elijah Moore. Save us some money, but a guy who can still have a little bit of play here in this game. It's a cheaper play, and that's kind of the reason I'm going with it. I don't really trust DPJ. I like Amari Cooper, but he's so expensive. We've already spent money on Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, so let's get a little cheaper play here in Elijah Moore for the Cleveland Browns. Opens up a nice little mini stack for the afternoon. Let's go Mostert. I've talked about him quite a bit. And let's just build a Keenan Allen team just because we did Mike Williams earlier, right? Oh, Justin saying go Boyd over over a big a nerve. That could be a possibility. You could also do like a Njoku instead. Let's keep Irvin here. I don't mind Irv Smith. I think that he kind of flies under the radar a little bit. Let's build out Vegas. Let's say Vegas just can I get nobody's gonna play Josh Jacobs, right? What's the Vegas defense looking like? 3,700. That's not bad. Leaves us 7K for the flex. I kind of like the Josh Jacobs Vegas stack. I mean, what's Denver gonna do? I think Vegas is the worst team out of the two. So you know what we could do? Actually, if I think Vegas is the worst team, let's go this way. Let's go Pirine and the Denver defense. I talked about it earlier. I think Pirine gets 50 to 60% of the snaps over Javonte Williams this week. That leaves us 9,100. Can't quite get to Christian McCaffrey, but we can get to Austin Eckler. Just kind of build out that Miami Charger stack a little bit, right? Hey, Herbert, cheers to you, my friend. Appreciate you always being here, jumping in the chat, having a little bit of fun, man. AFC West is going to be a blast this year. I'm not too worried about the Chiefs overall. Got to get Travis Kelce back, but yeah, it's going to be some fun times. And we're going to see the Chargers in a damn good game this week. So this allows me to get Austin Eckler in here, and I love this. Get Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Raheem Mostert from that game in the afternoon. Now, this Miami Chargers game, that's going to be the game, right? So if Cincy doesn't go off like we think, we're definitely going to have to get off that game. But we're going to be different with Cincy. So if they can if that game kind of blows up a little bit, we absolutely can ride the Miami Chargers game. So this one's not bad. I kind of like this one just because it's that Cincy game, man. And I don't really, it's ugly. Like it feels weird, which makes me want to play it. I know that doesn't make sense, but we want to get different, and this allows us to get different. All right, Lee says Cousins, Jefferson. Let's build out a Minnesota stack. We haven't really talked a lot about Jefferson. He's so freaking expensive. At 9,500. Doesn't mean we're not able to get to him. It's just a little expensive. So again, I'm going to go ahead and work in a tight end with my stack. You could go Cade Otton on the other side, but let's just start with Hawkinson. Just really go the premium stack here in Minnesota. I am going to play Rachaad White, though, because I think that if this game, you could go Godwin, you could go Mike Evans, whatever. But I like Rachaad White quite a bit. Not too expensive. Not as expensive as Evan and Chris Godwin. Save a little bit of cash there. Let's not go right back to the well with. Let's do a Herbert. Let's do a little mini stack in the Chicago game. Like a Herbert and Jaden Reed. Because Jaden Reed will save us a ton of cash. 5K. Going to be the starting wide receiver in Green Bay this week with Christian Watson already ruled out. Romeo Doubs probably going to be ruled out. That leaves a 6,100 average player. Let's get our defense in here. The chalk defense of the week is going to be the Washington defense. So I'm not necessarily going to try to play them. You know what would be contrarian as hell, y'all? What if we played the Cardinals defense? Like, even me, I'm like, play your Washington guys. I just don't like them in DFS because everybody's going to play them. But in a season long, I'm like, put everybody in your lineup you can get. If you got a Washington player, put them in your lineup. Let's go contrarian. Let's flip the script. What if this Washington offense, what if Sam Howell kind of struggles a little bit? I wish they were a little cheaper. I wish they were down here because I feel like you have better leverage and it's cheaper with the Chargers and Dolphins. I feel like those defenses are better leverage on FanDuel because they're so much cheaper. Right? Like maybe that game just doesn't go as we expect. Maybe the Rams. So I kind of think that's a fun play for the Cardinals, but I don't like how expensive they are. So let's do the Rams this time. Maybe that's what we're flipping. Geno, Kenneth Walker's going to be chalky. Let's throw the Rams out there, get some leverage on some of that chalk. Leaves us with 7,500. We already got a Chicago build here, so we got a little bit of the afternoon stuff. So we can really go anywhere with this. And I think we just go a couple one-offs. Let's go Debo. I want to play a little Debo this week, especially if George Kittle's out. We'll go Debo. And then, maybe we just go right back to a guy like an A.J. Brown, just like a one-off here in the flex, right? So you got Kirk Cousins double stack with Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, the premium double stack there in Minnesota with the Rashad White. Bring back a little mini correlation between Khalil Herbert, Jaden Reed. We have some leverage with the Rams defense over the, we're leveraging the Kenneth Walker chalk. AJ Brown in the flex at 8,100. Debo Samuel at 7K at wide receiver there. All right, I'll probably build one more and then get out of here. We are pushing 90 minutes at this point. I appreciate you all still being here with me. Jump in the chat if you would. One of my goals this year is just to get the chat to be as active as absolutely possible. I know sometimes you're kind of just watching, you're not necessarily wanting to chat, but I don't even care. Like, throw whatever you want in the chat. The chat helps the YouTube algorithms, helps bring more people in. The likes absolutely help the YouTube algorithm. So please help me out with those as well and subscribe to the Bite Size Sports YouTube network. But yeah, throw it in. I don't even care what it is. Maybe you're just saying hi. Maybe you want to talk about, the Chiefs. Maybe you want to talk about your fantasy football team. I'm here for it. But I just, obviously I want to just interact with all of you and be here with you, talk through things, and just show my appreciation that you are here with me, because I can see you're here, but I don't know who everybody is, right? If you're not chatting, I can't shout you out. So go ahead and hit the chat button, throw something in there, and let's build one more lineup. Yeah, I don't mind it either. I don't think a lot of people are going to play Minnesota. They got a good spot though at home in the Dome against a Tampa Bay team that's probably going to struggle a little bit this year. My main concern with this is just the game environment. Like Tampa Bay, I don't really expect them to score a lot, man. Like I just don't expect them to score much at all. So why? I don't know. Like, why does Minnesota continue to score? Are they going to put up 35 points if Tampa Bay's scored 7? Like, that's my biggest fear with this game. Hope you're not a Tony supporter anymore. I don't. Tony, Kadarius Toney, NFL is dead to me, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. All right, let's build one more lineup here. Anybody you guys want to build around here for this last lineup? Anyone you want to see, even if it's just one player, like, hey, just put this guy in there. Is it another game that we haven't played yet? Is there a sneaky quarterback in there? Like, is Ryan Tannehill a sneaky quarterback? I don't think so. Not against New Orleans, but Let's see. You got Carolina, Atlanta, a couple rookie and second year, first time stars essentially. Trevor Lawrence, Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson could be sneaky, but you got Josh Dobbs against Sam Howell. I mean, there's some bad quarterbacks in the NFL, y'all. What's going on? Yeah, CJ or Bryce Young here against Lamar, Baker Mayfield against Kirky. Just some bad football out there. Just some bad football. Justin, man, I haven't even. Whew. Justin in the chat, if you're in the audio, he says, "I'm sorry, man. It makes me feel good seeing a Chiefs fan in distress." That is definitely me. But I'm also the one that was a clown and said that the Chiefs weren't elite last year, and then they went on to win the Super Bowl. So I'll jump ship pretty quickly. My wife calls me a fair weather fan. I'm like, I don't think she understands what I'm doing. I call it like I see it. And last night I saw a really bad wide receiver play. Kenny Pickett, you're not wrong. Like he could definitely be a sneaky play. I'm just worried, man. This 49ers defense is so good. They're so good. That's what I'm worried about. I like Kenny Pickett this year. I'm certain I'll play some Kenny Pickett double stacks. I just don't think I can stomach it against this 49ers defense. I don't think I can do it against 49ers defense. All right, let's look here. Let's build a Tua stack. Let's build a Tua stack real fast, and then we'll get out of here. I'm going to go Reek, and I'm going to go Durham Smythe. Okay. And I want to go double bring back. I want to build this game out. Because one way you can also get different is to overstack a game, right? Everybody wants to play the Miami Chargers game, but who is going to play 5 or 6 of these guys? Right? Who's going to play 5 or 6 of these guys? Is A-Chain going to play? Maybe. If he is, he's going to be catching passes. Right? We already kind of talked about Mike Williams. Can we get Eckler in this thing? Look at this. I mean, truly, guys, this to me is a structure you can play. And a structure that doesn't feel wrong. Let me bring Tyreek down here. Starting out with a triple stack of the Miami Dolphins. Tua, Devon A-Chain, Durham Smythe, Tyreek Hill, and you got a double bring back, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams. Just straight up starting with 6 guys from the same team. 6 guys from the same game. This game goes nuclear. 60, 65 points are scored in this game. Think about the Baltimore-Miami game last year, right? If you think about that game, if you have that game completely stacked up, you got 6 guys from that game, you've got a chance to go to the top. So this is the nuclear game of the weekend, Chargers versus Miami, which I think it has that opportunity to be. Why not take 6 guys from it? Now, obviously, yeah, you're like, well, Waddle's the guy who scored 3 touchdowns, not Tyreek. Well, shit. Sorry, guys. Like, I tried. You know what I mean? But all you're saying is, like, I just need to get one thing right. The only thing I need to be right in this situation, truly, to score or to give myself a chance of winning the top prize, is the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Chargers have to be the best game on the slate. Have to be the best game on the slate. Right? So let's go defense here. Let's bring in the Chicago Bears once again. Actually, let's bring in the Eagles defense. Let's spend up a little bit on defense here. Leaving us 2 wide receiver spots. I talked about Drake London earlier. I like him a little bit. Really cheap, 6,200. Great leverage play off Bijan early in the afternoon or early in the game day. You take Drake London, see how that goes. Leaves yourself 7,400. sitting in the T. Higgins area. Chris Olave, which we talked about, a little one-off action with him. Devontae Smith, Debo. Let's do Chris Olave. We talked about him quite a bit earlier against this Tennessee defense. So you got a couple one-offs early. Chris Olave, Drake London, hoping maybe they both score a touchdown. Now you're feeling really, really good about this game going forward. Just don't be afraid to overstack, y'all. Like, I think it's truly a really good strategy, especially if you're going to play these 94-person games. Those kind of like overstacking can just give you an absolute leg up if that game hits. What's the matters with all the Commander defense? Nothing is wrong with the Commanders defense. I just think everybody's going to play them. Right? Everybody's going to play the Commanders this weekend. So I don't want to play them because everybody else is playing them. They are truly the cash defense. If you play cash, play 50-50s, double ups, you're playing the Commanders. Kids are playing Josh Dobbs and an Arizona offense that might not have Hollywood Brown, is going to give James Conner the rock 40 times, and he's not going to go anywhere. Like, it's a great play. I'm not going to say it's not a great play. It just, at 35% rostered in a 2,000-person tournament, not the play for me. Not the play for me. Kev says, or tell him to go all in on new Peyton Manning, a.k.a. Richardson. That's what, no, I'm not going in. I mean, I'm already all in on Anthony Richardson, but I'm not going to play him this weekend. What I am going to do is I'm going to get out of here. And thank you all for being here. I do absolutely appreciate all the love, all the support you guys have shown me this offseason, talking best ball, doing drafts, and now we're right into DFS season. And I truly hope that we can win some money, some of these lineups that we're building. You know, take them, use them if you want to. Obviously, I'm not going to necessarily use exactly these lineups, but I will be mixing and matching and kind of looking at different things. I do love this Miami-Los Angeles game, but you have to get different with it. You can't just play the chalk plays from it. Find a way to get different. Overstack the game if you need to. Play a guy like Durham Smythe if you need to. You can find different ways to get action from this game without getting, buried essentially because you have the chalk on everything. So just be smart with it. It's all about the structure that you build this week. One more time, if you haven't already, please hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're looking for 750 subscribers. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your family, tell your foes. I don't care who you tell, but get them over here to Bite Size Sports YouTube channel. We're going to be here all NFL season. Check out my season-long fantasy podcast, Another Damn Fantasy Podcast, powered by Bite Size Sports. You can find us on Apple and Spotify as well, and live every Wednesday night at 8:15 right here on the Bite Size Sports channel. We're back next week with another DFS show every week moving forward through the Super Bowl. We are here, unless obviously my wife schedules something and then I have to cancel. But if not, I'll be right here with you all, building lineups, talking through FanDuel stuff, and hopefully celebrating some huge binks this year. Follow me on Facebook at The Rumbles in Red, on Twitter at Trevor S_FF. Good luck this week, and may the money be in your favor.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money